talking with Dave. Dave and I, well, he can give you a report too. But anyways, I managed to take the sign that we purchased, that gave to the scouts to put in, the watershed. I unscrewed that, got that home. The Herring Fisheries Commission, the big long sign across the top, I unscrewed all of that. I got that at home. And the wooden sign with the history, the Herring Fisheries history, that's being stored at the park department.
That wasn't damaged?
Yes, but not to the point where you'd have to replace it or anything.
Good.
It's intact.
Good.
Let's put it that way. It's got some cracks, but for its age and everything, and the fact that it's protected and it was standing up, there's no weather damage or anything like that. It's physical damage from the twisting and hitting and all the other baloney. But it's minor in nature.
That's good.
Can be reused, in other
Good.
words. And then after talking with Dave, we went and had breakfast, and tried to warm up. The issue came out, how are we going to get this thing replaced, and what did it cost, and all that. Suggestion was to go down to our accountants and see who we paid. Must be a record, and there was. So I have the home address of Mr. Peter Flanagan, McNamara, I'm sorry, Roger Peter McNamara. I got his address where the last check was sent. I went over there and left a note on his door Monday. So I went over to Southeastern, and there was nobody at the house. Wrote a note, put it on the door,
Oh, wow. Good.
phone number and all that. Here it is, Wednesday. I've never heard anything. So either he no longer lives there,
Yeah.
passed away, I don't know. I will go back to Southeastern and see if I can't find out if he is still in that town. Go to the town offices. Dave and I were talking about that earlier. Go to the town offices or whatever and see if I can track him down. But regardless, we now have some costs, some actual costs back then, which obviously would have gone up. So here's the 3 payments that were sent out according to our.
In what year was that built?
Well, the payments go from 99 into 2000.
Okay.
So I guess it started in 99 and the final kiosk was completed in 2000.
So we're talking 20 years of appreciation too,
Yeah.
of cost of appreciation.
So the first one says, I don't know why it says, it's listed as tax, maybe it's transaction amount. Looks like tax to me. Transaction amount of 1,000, transaction amount of 800, and another transaction amount of 1,000. So there's a total of $2,800 that was paid to Mr. McNamara.
Okay.
I guess Dave's got his report.
That's, that was paid 18, 19 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Figure maybe it goes up 30 points.
Is it? Okay. And then Dave, you must have what the Boy Scouts had done recently to that?
I have, the only thing on the Oliver Mill kiosk I've been able to find at all was the photos and the story about the Scouts rehabbing it. There is nothing in our file about originally building that. And the only thing about the Wareham Street kiosk is this, with the preliminary design.
That's great to work with.
With,
Yeah.
essentially the original, and again,
Snowing out there.
a letter,
It's 40 miles an hour.
a letter to Peter McNamara, again, from us to him hiring him,
Was it the same address, 123 Depot?
129 Depot.
129. Yeah, okay. Okay, I just want to make sure it was the
Is
same.
that 123?
Yeah, actually, it's part of 123 as it heads off the center.
wanted to do it, but again, there's no serious designs. I went down and measured it, which is what this is. Oops. And this is the design of the Wareham Street kiosk, the 7-foot sidewalls and 6.5-foot across the back, total of 15 foot 8 inches across the front, and 7 foot 8 inch roof, underside of the roof sloping to 7 foot in the rear. This can be, if we choose to do so, this can be, I suppose, a blueprint for replacing it. What we're gonna have to do, or what was suggested that we do, is number one, take a vote. Do we wanna replace the kiosk or not? And secondly, if so, do we wanna leave it in the same place where it is, where it was, or do we wanna move it somewhere else in the park? Do we want the same design or a different design? And to obtain estimates for construction as soon as we can to get them to the town manager for the insurance claim. I will make a motion that we replace the Oliver Mill kiosk with the same design and the same location, and that we solicit local contractors for a replacement estimate, and also try and get in touch with Mr. McNamara if he's still available to build it, or rebuild this, essentially the same thing.
I'll second that motion for discussion.
So we have a motion and a second for having it in the same place, basically the same structure.
To have it, yep, to have it recreated in kind. And my reason, I like the idea of having it off the parking lot to attract people away from the parking lot. As you can see, even being away from the parking lot, damage can be had.
Yeah, we'll keep
But
it
at
safe.
least it keeps the real close vandalism type
Yes.
stupidity
You have to
away
walk
from it.
all
So
the way
that's
over
one
there.
reason. The
Spray
other
paint.
reason is to get people to actually use the park. You know, you have to go over there to see
Yeah.
the bulletins and what have you.
It's a good location. We have the herring festival for us to set up our booth.
And now that I've seen it knocked apart, I want to tell you, I was amazed at the good construction. This thing was incredibly well made.
You wouldn't believe that storyboard in the back, how that thing was built.
I know, I'm standing there, I go, what's this nut up on the top, you know?
It looks like there were 13 essentially 2x4s glued together with
Two bolts driven
two
right through 'em.
bolts or rods holding them thing, and then carved into this 2-inch thick piece of wood.
And then the whole thing was lag bolted into the back. I mean, it was, or is, I can't say was, it's still there. And that's probably why, even being hit by a truck, it's only got a crack. And I don't know if that was the truck or if it was the guys moving it. Because that was definitely manhandled to move it.
I guarantee, I am not gonna be here for the next 2 weeks. So if Ron, maybe if you could spearhead, if the group agrees, if you could spearhead getting some estimates, and give a call to Louise, because I know she was doing some work on it. If she's gotten any contact with any construction people yet.
Okay.
And I think we just need to go on that as soon as we can, so that the insurance claim can get in as soon as it can.
Correct.
I have a question. Don't insurance companies have adjusters to come out and give estimates?
Pretty hard on something that's not there.
Yeah, I'm not sure about something like this, how the town insurance runs on that. There's up to certain dollar limits, I think, that they just pay it out.
Yeah.
This is an oddball in terms
So like
of,
State Farms, we've seen that.
Well, I mean, the town insurance, I mean, they expect buildings to be damaged, and they expect cruisers and
Right.
DPW
I mean,
trucks to get into an accident.
yeah, they're gonna have a lot of standard things they're gonna be given to to them. It's gonna be so many hours of police work, so many hours of firemen, so many hours of G&E, you know, that kind of thing. And they have standard costs and whatever. Unfortunately, this isn't standard, so to speak, you know? I know I had problems when I had damage on my property. Everybody wanted to do something original and pay the big bucks, but if you want to repair or fix something, everybody bowed out. I had a hell of a time with my property damage in home, where a car went right through and knocked out a mailbox, sign post, and destroyed half a stone wall. It was like they look at it and go, no, I don't want that job. It was tough. This is going to be 100% whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know, it's not going to just do some painting or fixing.
Yeah, but I hate to underestimate ourselves and at the end find out it's more. Like, what happens in a situation like that?
Exactly,
We-
and
we're not
that's, and like Dave
professionals.
said, that's why we need to get quotes, so that
Yeah.
we have some numbers that are factual,
Yeah,
or
again,
current.
again, we need to get some quotes, but again, I'm assuming, without knowledge, that there's some wiggle room in the town insurance process.
Okay.
Yeah, I think 3 quotes.
All right, so we have a motion for same place, same design.
Same, rebuild it at the same location, same design, and to solicit local bid from, local construction bid, and also from the original builder. And my own preference would be to go with the original builder, if we can do that,
Like I said,
and if he's available.
workmanship was incredible.
No, that's
I mean,
20
it took a
years ago.
truck to take that thing down, and it was solid. The only thing that was done to it was painting, and they redid the doors that just made it better than what it was,
Yeah,
but
they
it
redid-
wasn't 100% necessity.
Yeah, redid the roof, redid some of the cedar,
Yep.
cedar shingle siding, but the bones of it were
Absolutely
solid.
unbelievable.
Hopefully the guy was in his mid-40s then.
Yes, still, don't go further.
Or he's got an
Yeah.
apprentice that we can deal with. So, yeah.
Okay. So
Aye.
we have,
Yeah.
okay, all in favor?
Yeah.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Passes unanimous.
Okay, now, in the meantime, as I go through this process, do you want to get feedback as it goes through? Or just keep track of everything and turn it all in at a
What do you feel?
net
What do you
future
feel?
meeting or
Yeah,
whatever?
nothing says you can't shoot
So-
out an informal email if you want to, but,
At the regular meeting.
Yeah, I just want to know how involved people
Yeah,
wanted to
yeah,
get, you know,
Tuesday,
before,
yeah.
you know.
well, that's gonna be,
Yeah.
if you're gonna get a quorum, then, yeah,
Yeah.
the regular meeting will be next Tuesday. but-
And if I were to
Tom and
get
I aren't
everything,
gonna be here.
if I could get all of that information before the next meeting, should I give it to the town manager? Or should it come, wait until the commission sends it?
I will make a motion that, Ron spearhead the, building data and coordinate with the town manager.
Is that what you prefer?
Well, if the town manager's gonna do, or through the town is gonna do the insurance, yes. From what I've understood, other individual departments have made filings on their own. But whereas this is one site that's already gonna have claims, I guess it doesn't make any sense to.
Coordinate with
Yeah.
park department and town manager.
But
Okay.
the assumption is that we don't have to tap into any of our funds on this.
Not currently, no. I'll second it.
All in favor?
No, I know, just words it again, you actually.
That I'll go out and get some quotes,
Quotes.
local, et cetera, trace
Okay.
down the other guy and coordinate all the
Okay.
information.
And it doesn't have to come from the commission.
Yes, yeah, okay. Seconded by Brad. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Passes unanimous.
Okay, now, would you relinquish that one drawing? I'll make copies of it. I don't want the whole page, just what I need for,
Just hang on to it and get it back to me.
oh, okay, yeah. That way I'll have I'll have something to go on for them to quote, other than, if they're local, they've probably been down.
These photos are
quote
just
one.
for the file.
Okay. All
You want an
right.
extra, you want an extra one to
Now,
give
for
to
you
the
bring it
town
up,
manager, or?
we know
Yeah.
Tom will be around next Tuesday.
Uh-huh.
Tom is,
If Tom's not gonna be here, we don't know about.
He's gone for 19 days, I think, and he's,
Tom and I are not gonna be back until the 16th, both of us.
So if
February.
Dave alone, we can get a hold of him. we can
Friday at the
cancel
coffee shop, he meets with the other veterans.
So his work's gotta be done by
Yeah, oh yeah, he's done. He was totally wiped. He took some time just to recover.
But just let me know, because I have to post the meeting
Yeah, so.
tomorrow if we're going to have it on the 5th, or if
Well,
we're gonna have it later in the month, or just
I mean,
skip.
why don't we
Yeah, why not
February
the,
is-
why
we
not
can
the,
have
s-
it later.
was it the second, why not the second Tuesday? Is that, what date is that?
There's
It's 6
still not-
months.
That's January, but
The second Tuesday is still,
Still too soon?
Change
Just
it.
automatically make it the third Tuesday then. Let's stick with the Tuesday and just let everybody know. I mean, what the heck?
Yeah.
And have it posted that
We
way?
already have 4 of us here, so we can play with it.
the third Tuesday would be the 19th.
Go for it.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm gonna steal another one of your cookies.
I mean, it doesn't make sense to continually postpone something. We need to set a date and see if people make it.
right, this is how people call me, I can't do anything.
Yeah.
Can I have your phone number? I don't know why I don't have your phone
Oh,
number.
you don't?
I went to call you, I was gonna might be late today.
Yeah, so it's, 774.
Yep.
210. 2191.
774-210-2191?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Oh, and I got the locks.
Oh, yeah.
I got the 2 locks that came from the doors.
Oh, that's good.
They were
Oh,
all
good, yeah.
intact when it was like this.
Yeah,
I went out there the following morning, the park department already taken it all apart. The doors, I think they saved the plexiglass. The doors were destroyed and the locks were just hanging on a piece of wood. So I got the locks.
good.
Oh,
So.
so we'll have the same one, same key.
Before we bolt, I mean, I know we're just meeting for this, but were you guys alarmed at all that the bridge is already gone and all?
Why would I be alarmed?
Why would we be alarmed? That's what,
It's a
we've been
plan.
planning on that for a year.
I've been asking why it hasn't
They were
been
gonna
done.
start, before the
What?
season even opened.
Well, I wasn't
Okay.
sure, I didn't know they were gonna start yesterday, but
The
I knew they
issue-
were gonna start pretty quick.
The issue is they have I don't even know the titles. Call him a construction boss, construction engineer that everybody's been going through, and he's been doing quotes and doing this and doing that. And Fran said, you're talking like, I can't remember if it was some stupid, to me, stupid quote, okay? Something like $2,500 to take the bridge out. He's saying that's money that could be spent putting something together if we've got X amount of dollars. Why would you do that? We can do that with volunteer labor, so. The thing is, they can't work on anything until the bridge is gone.
No, that makes
So if the
sense.
conditions get to the point in the next month, the water drops, rather than having to take the bridge out to do the work, they can do it. So the idea was to get it out of there, so they did.
So just, and I don't think this would happen or whatever else, but in the event that, in 2 weeks the fish start coming up,
Yeah,
do you think we should say that, would it be unfair to ask them to put a barrier so the fish are not coming up to where they're working? Or you don't think this? I think we should require that, quite frankly.
they're gonna be doing,
It's
well,
not
they're
a
gonna
lot
be
of
doing
money.
dewatering, so therefore there shouldn't be fish going up that
Oh,
way.
okay, so you're
Yeah,
saying
the-
the whole area's gonna be.
Yeah, at the meetings, they're gonna be putting the copper dam in front of that area. And they'll have pumps there if they need to pump water out, because they gotta get down to the base to work there.
So what you're saying is the fish are not gonna come right up.
No,
to
no, there shouldn't be enough water there. If there's a trickle and some come up, who cares? It's gonna
Yeah,
be a
no, but I
few.
was just
And they'll get frustrated and go back, you know?
Yeah, no, I was just thinking it'd be a continuous, full water.
Yeah, they're, obviously, whenever anybody does work, it's gonna be once they've agreed to the contract, and if the weather is conducive, and,
So that was just getting.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was a safety.
Yeah, there's a coffer dam up above, so. Yeah, they went through the Concom, and they've been through everything else, so hopefully it's
see?
covered.
Did you see that, I don't know, you may not be on the email chain, Nils sent out a big thing today. The Corps of Engineers is getting involved. They need a 404 permit.
God bless them. Well, they can invoke the park department. There's a clause in the Wetlands Protection Act having to do with park departments, and I don't know if that, because it's a park rather than, because they're not working in the river. The river is where the ladder is. What they're working in is a sluiceway, so, you know, they can play that game. But that's why you have engineers. They're supposed to read those laws and understand how to use them. I know how I'd use it.
So I saw the note Dave you sent about this island terrace, like, what's all
Oh.
condos in there?
Well,
Yeah,
they've got,
let's-
Is that what they're doing?
yeah,
They
that's,
want to, yeah.
yeah, but this is our meeting, well, we can't vote on it, so whatever we discuss is mute. But Island
All
Terrace
right,
is,
before you talk into
Yeah.
that, we all set with the topic at hand right now for tonight?
all done.
Yep.
All right,
Hit the red button.
7:25, I call this meeting to